It's worth just saying before we get going, we're heading towards winter, so there was a slight breeze and a bit of rain, and we lost internet for a week, which is why I've been rather quiet and haven't been getting back to messages and stuff like that. But also, we lost internet for a week, but it's patchy now and it keeps coming and going. So what should be a really simple build of a really simple model is going to have to be deeply serialized, which is ridiculous, isn't it? I doubt if this one's going to take 10 minutes, but it will take ages to download, and I'll lose it a couple of times because the internet will go. So here we go, a bunch of very short episodic sections to see us through scary Halloween and all that. So, oh look, it's much better if my hand isn't there. Oh, terrible. Anyway, let's get started. Yes, indeed, fans of I don't know what annual celebrations. It's Halloween, All Hallows Eve. I'm not, yeah, whatever. Any excuse to make a super kitsch kit. Do you like that? That just came to me as I went along. From Lost in Space, of a giant, ill-fittingly suited man in a Cyclops suit, which I have to say I remember vaguely, and I looked at some of the photographs and in fact I looked at a little bit of film on YouTube, and it's one of those suits that is so bad it's actually unnerving. The suit takes on a life of its own and does the job really well. I find that kind of thing unsettling. The Ray Harryhausen stuff is so good you can just sit back and admire it, but when it's probably a pudgy middle-aged man like me getting paid not much to run around in a suit, this is slightly slow motion, yeah, that frightens the life out of me. So anyway, here we are with the magnificent, if expensive, Polar Lights, who are rescuing from oblivion some crazy Aurora and Monogram stuff, and goodness knows what else. They seem to be away with goodness knows what kind of psychedelic, chemically enhanced marketing ploys. But anyway, here we are. I just got this on a whim because it's bonkers. There's no more to be said, is there really? Anyway, it looks like that in a bag. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm going to have to. And the instructions, believe me, are underneath. Halloween. What have you done to me? Here we go. And here it is in a very unattractive, doughy, off-white plastic, which is so unattractive and doughy off-white. I love it. It's great. It's such a sort of... you don't get this kind of thing anymore, do you? Unless Polar Lights are doing it, obviously. And so you get the monster guy. Let's just have a quick look at his little Vizog. And then you get the family. Lots of bits have come off, and I hope I've, as you always expect with Aurora, and the like. And when I was a kid, I used to go to a shop near my cousin's in London. It was an old terrace house that had been turned into, or it was 3 terrace houses that had been turned into a model shop, a toy shop, and a model railway shop, and all run by the same people. And it was in North Harrow, I think. Anyway, and I went in one day in my Aurora phase, which was sort of 8 to 11, I think. And the guys behind the counter were saying about how they were running a competition to see if anybody got an Aurora model that had all its parts, that didn't have any missing. And I actually won it, and I got a free Aurora kit, which was brilliant. Nice one. So that's my reminiscence. Now what I want to do is draw your attention to the fact that we do have all of these bits and pieces, and hopefully they're all there. But one thing in particular that I do love is on the box, all plastic assembly kit, complete with one-eyed monster, giant boulder and Robinson family. I wasn't going to buy it, but seeing as they included the boulder, is that the boulder? Or is that the boulder? I mean, that's big, but that's giant. I mean, you know, it's the boulder that sells it, isn't it? So anyway, sarcasm apart, it looks great. It looks fun. I'm dying to make it. I'm just laughing away all the way through this, aren't I? Oh, guys. I did the Forgotten Prisoner of Castlemaine. That was a masterpiece. I'm not sure this one's going to go into the masterpiece category somehow, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. This is our basic thing then. We've got our Cyclops, we've got our base, and we've got our giant boulder. I've undercoated them in a kind of chocolatey brown, and then he has at the moment two lighter shades over the top of him, and I'm probably going to put a third to really highlight the surface of a third very pale colour. And then his face I'm going to do in a pale, fleshy, going back to the doughy quality, and in all the sort of areas where wear will occur, I've darkened things up a little. But there we go. I need to get in to do his face, so I haven't glued him up fully. I have to say, it's a model that's shown its age. The gaps are atrocious. You can see light through the other side. I'm not going to fill them this time round, maybe once it's all done. In the quest to just do them out of the box kind of thing, then I'm not going to go mad with filler. So yeah, let's you know, go back to 1966 when this was first done, and let's enjoy that. But maybe another day deserves a bit of filling and bring him up to scratch a little more, because that is a big gap, and there's a few others. The seams on his legs are huge. This is rather like the Grendel model I made by, or was it Masterbox? Something like that. Very similar. So monsters do not go well. They're not. They don't seem to be treated with respect. So maybe I'll bring this fella up to scratch another time. Anyway, that's him. Then I'll do some dark washes over him. This, on the other hand, is the chocolatey brown with two different shades sprayed over obliquely, so that we're getting some shading, and that will get a wash, and the rock will get similar. So that's our process so far. Yeah, I bet you I'll have to stop there and then download this episode and come back later. But anyway, happy Halloween everybody. Don't get toothache. Do you know, I was having to look at, see, I haven't got any visuals for this now. I was having to look at ancient Babylonian demon texts about ancient Babylonian demons. And do you know what the top one was? I've given you a clue. The demon they're most afraid of, even more than being pounced on in lonely tracks at night, the one that they really ask for protection from is toothache. With you all the way there, folks. Oh yeah, I forgot the small rock boulder. There is the small boulder.